What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? It is the 18th of April. We've started a new day. We have about 20 hours, 55 minutes left, and we're down about 3.4% just to start this day off. Yesterday, we had a nice bullish engulfing candle. 5.7% to the upside. I do believe we're going to continue moving up. I'm standing by it. I very much do believe that's our low. We have a bull flag here, and we have yet to break out of it, but I think we're soon going to, right? All we have to do is really just get above about, what price is that, about like 1.9 cents. We get above 1.9 cents, we're breaking out above this bull flag. Really, we need to close above it on a multi 4-hour basis, but I digress. We'll get to that in a second. From a relative high to a relative low to a relative high, the 382 is perfect support for a move like this. I don't believe we go lower than that. I think that we are literally let's just say moments away from breaking out to new highs. I want to see how's Cookie's moving up a little bit. That's nice. 4-hour time frame. 4-hour RSI is getting overbought, not getting oversold, bouncing right off the oversold zone though. You do have this lower high thing kind of keeping you down, which isn't ideal, but I don't think that anything's going to come of it. After all, we're moving down with some serious purpose here without any volume to back it up, right? So I'm not worried about this at all. 54 minutes left in this candle. That looks to be about the volume that we'll see. So I have a feeling that we're going to find support here, as we did here, as we did here, here. We're going to find support in this area, and really I think we're getting ready to break out of this flag. You can see here we tipped, well, first we tipped this as resistance, came down, tipped that as resistance, came down, tipped resistance came down. Here we've been hugging it. Different behavior begets different results, my friends. It does, right? And if we can observe this here, right? First off, looking at this on a 3-day time frame, it's no doubt at all that this is a bull flag here. Okay, right there, that's a bull flag. We go on the 4-hour time frame, we zoom out a little bit. Okay, we take this, you can see, and I'm going to connect the dots and then draw the line out to the right, extend, yeah, to the right. So you can see here with this bull flag, whenever we broke out of it, what we did was this. We found resistance right at the line, and we went down. Resistance right at the line, went down. Resistance went down, 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 right? We did not crowd the area at all. Finally, we did start to crowd the area. And what did we do? We had a breakthrough, a sustained breakthrough when we crowded this area, right? We're doing the same thing now. We go all the way back, all the way back so that I can get all that on there. Now we're doing the same thing. We're crowding this area, right? I expect that this will lead to a breakout. It doesn't mean that immediately we move up. You know, maybe we do exactly what we did last time. We kind of bleed out a little bit over. We come back down. Maybe we form a double bottom, or maybe we just slowly bleed to the upside and have some turbulence there, and then we break out, whatever. But I do believe that we're going to be breaking out of this soon. We'll be breaking out of this to the upside. And maybe when we do break out, we get an immediate breakout move. On the plus side, regardless of how long it takes, whether it's immediately or it's a few days from now and then we move up, however it looks, whatever it takes to move up, when we move up, the measure move for this target is all the way up above 5 cents, right? We take this measure move, we go from the low here, maybe I'll even take this low. Let's take the low there to the high there, put our measurement at the base of the flag, right at the base. That measure move takes you up to about 5.4 cents, 5.3 cents, somewhere in that area. We're at 1.8 cents now. And being on the 4-hour time frame, looking at this for what it is, I'm not saying it's going to happen today or tomorrow, but within the next week or two, yeah, I think so. I think we're going to see that. I mean, we're going to break out likely to the upside. It's possible we could break out to the downside. It's possible that we could move lower from here, still be in our bull flag, and then our measured move is taken from a lower price. It's possible. But again, I don't think that we go below this, simply because bull flag aside, a relative low to a relative high, you found support at the 382 already. Now, that doesn't mean that that's the end-all be-all. You could go down to the 0.5. You could go down to the golden ratio. Both of those are possible. It could take some time to do, right? It could be immediate. But I'm thinking here, just looking at this picture-perfect bull flag, in a rather perfect scenario after this humongous breakout here, no volume to back it up on the way down. The only time that you had like a real spike of volume in here was on this volume, this buy on the way up here at the low. I suppose you did have a little spike of volume here on this breakout, but it wasn't sustained, right? And it didn't really take you anywhere. Hold on, guys. Okay, so when we get above the 236, when we do get above about 2.1 cents, 2.01 cents, I should say, you get above there, it's on. We close above there on a 4-hour basis, multi 4-hour basis. We're likely going to be going higher. There's no refuting it at that point. We get above 1.9 cents. That gets us above our top side of this bull flag here. No refuting it at that point. We're moving up to the upside. So I think we're on our way. Again, there's really not that much volume on this 4-hour candle here for this move down, so I think we're going to give that back. The 4-hour RSI, it looks a little bit sad right now, but overall, I think you're more bullish than bearish, if we're being honest. If we're looking at the 1-hour time frame here, 1 hour, looking at this here, you're pretty damn neutral. You're getting overbought, but not getting oversold. That's nice. I suppose you did just come out of the oversold zone, to be fair. Overall, very neutral, just a very neutral RSI. What you do have here is a lower low in your RSI, right? You can see this, lower low, alongside with a higher low in the price. That's what you call hidden bullish divergence. Bouncing off the 40 area, this could be an area that you bounce. You've bounced off of this several times back here. Found resistance off of here. This could be a good area to find support, and I do think that you'll do that. I don't think that you'll persist too much lower. And then again, you found support here, found support there, all those times. So yes, I definitely think you're moving up to this relative notion here from the low that you experienced on the 16th to the high that we just experienced yesterday. You are below the 382 now. It's pretty common. It's pretty common to go just below the 382 and then come back up. You did close below it on this 1 hour, so if we are to prove the notion valid that we are finding support here, I think it would be better to see this over the next 49 minutes. By the time most of you watch this, if the price was above about 1.826 cents, but these are very small kind of semantics to go over. All in all, regardless of what happens, we go a little bit lower, we go a little bit lower than that, we go even lower than that, whatever. Regardless of what happens, we're on our way higher, and I do believe that the target area, whenever it comes to breaking out of this relative bull flag here, will take us to price areas around this high, if not likely even above that high there. Ultimately, guys, we're on our path to 20 cents and beyond. Absolutely we are. 22 cents, 26 cents, 28 cents, all of these targets are possible. We could even see higher targets than this. And again, I want to focus on something. I think this is very important to focus on throughout the whole damn experience is going to be XCN versus Bitcoin. Because where we top off, I theorize that where we top off with the USD pair, it's going to be very, very reliant on where we top off with the Bitcoin pair. And I mean, that's obvious, right? It's essentially, I'm not saying this. It might sound like I'm saying this. Whenever the US dollar pair tops off, the Bitcoin pair is going to top off too. That's obvious. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that if we're here in the OnyxCoin price for US dollars, we're at 26 cents. We're at 26 cents, you guys. But the XCN BTC pair is only here. I would say we've got higher to go. Does that make sense? That's what I'm trying to say. It's the BTC pair that's going to give us... Why would I say we have higher to go? Because why the hell would we stop here? In the middle of nowhere, where it doesn't make sense at all to stop. We would go a little bit higher, at least to where these wicking lows were. At least there. Does that make sense? So even though we have these price targets for the USD pair, and I think we will adhere to them, and they're important to pay attention to, absolutely, and we'll be focusing on those primarily throughout this whole endeavor. But I think it's very important to keep in mind the XCN BTC pair, because while we do have 20 cent, 22 cent, 26 cent, 30 cent, and beyond price targets in mind for this next move by the end of June. And I think personally we're going to stop around 22 to 28 cents. Personally, that's my expectation. But we could go a little bit lower, a little bit higher. While those are targets we have in mind, if the BTC pair, the XCN to BTC pair, if we're interacting with these wicking lows here or higher, I don't care what the price is. We could be at 15 cents. I'm going to start to take money off the table, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I am not selling all of my OnyxCoin. Hell no, I never will. Well, not until the end of the cycle at least. And that's that's the end of this year. That's like Q4. So we've got over half a year to go before that's even on the table. I will sell a small portion, right? I haven't told people how much I'm going to sell. I say it's going to be between 20% of my total OnyxCoin holdings, 20% and 60%, somewhere in that range, right? I'm not being specific because I want everyone to make their own decision. Do you want to sell 100%? Go for it. Do you want to sell 50%? Go for it. Do you want to sell just 20%? Go for it. Whatever amount's fair to you, do that. If you don't want to sell any of it at all, if the price goes all the way up to 20 cents and you don't want to sell any of it at all, you want to wait for that next consolidation phase, buy more more and just write it up because you believe, like I do, that this thing's inevitably going to be worth more than $1. It's inevitably going to be worth more than $1.80 probably by the end of the cycle. And why would you sell here for that? Fine. Right, but just have conviction in that, right? It's very possible. You never know. You never know where the high is going to be. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but the best strategy if you're trying to catch the whole entire move, the whole enchilada by the end of this cycle, the best strategy is to just not think about selling until we're in Q4. Personally, that's my expectation. But I've been doing this for a little bit of time. I like to lean on my skills a little bit, and I think that we'll have some fun trading this thing on the way up and on the way down. But I digress. Being here at 1.8 cents now, I very much believe that we have higher targets in mind, dramatically higher targets in mind. 5 cents and beyond is likely, or even at least around 5 cents is likely by the end of this month of April, let alone what we're going to do in May and June to correspond with this overall breakout of this large bull flag and this smaller bull flag here. We're going to continue up a lot higher. But I think while we've done the meticulous research, the meticulous analysis in determining where this price will stop at, which we've come up with something around, at a minimum of 15 cents, but likely something that's at like 22 cents to 26 cents, 28 cents, somewhere in there, maybe higher, maybe lower. While we've refined that to a fine area there, I think it really does boil down to what we do versus Bitcoin. If we start moving up more, if we move up faster than expected and Bitcoin hasn't quite moved up yet, it's going to be easier for the XCN BTC chart to hit this area where we're expecting to find resistance. If Bitcoin moves up a little bit more and XCN chills, it's going to be harder for us to hit this area of resistance. Harder as in XCN is going to have to grow more than expected. So as much as we want to see this thing just tear through the sky immediately, if we were to move up right now, if we were to move up to like 15 cents right now with Bitcoin at this price, we would be at this area where we'd be at profit-taking areas on the BTC pair. So likely we wouldn't pass 15 cents, right? Do you hear what I'm saying? So if not, I don't know how else to better explain it. In other words, just pay attention to the BTC chart. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but I would assume that the next area of resistance on this chart will also be the area of resistance on the USD pair, and I think that will be somewhere around these low points here of this overall consolidation phase at the top, right? I hope that makes sense. As of now, 1.82 cents right now, essentially 2 days, 21 hours left in this week. 12 days, 21 hours left in the month. I think that over the coming days, we'll start to move higher. Over the coming weeks, we're looking to take out our current cycle's high and move up above 5 cents. We'll see how it goes, but that's all I got for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And actually, one last thing. I keep doing this. I've done this a few times today. We could talk about the cycle ending highs, right? Because I hinted at that a little bit, but from a high to a low here, nope, that's not the low. That's the low there, right? High to low here. The minimum target would be 82.5 cents. The next target is about $1.81. Oftentimes with the 1 for 1 for you don't stop there. You go just a little bit above. So seeing prices above $2 is very possible. Anything past 240, 250, that's kind of unlikely in my opinion, because then we're talking about a market cap that's well above $80 billion. And I'm not saying OnyxCoin can't see that. I just don't think you see something like that by the end of this cycle. But who knows? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I think we'll better know where the all-time high will be at the end of this next move. If we're at 20 to 30 cents, then I think $1.80 to $2.50, that's a very possible outcome. If we're only at 15 cents or 10 cents or less, maybe prices around $1 or less than $1 is the possible outcome. If we see targets that are past what I'm expecting, like beyond 30 cents, beyond 40 cents, maybe, just maybe, we do see a market cap that's over $100 billion by the end of the cycle. Maybe we can talk about prices as high as $5.63, but I don't talk about that. That's the first time I've ever actually even talked about it. I don't talk about it because I don't think this is going to happen. I really don't. I don't even think it's possible. Why? Because this is your first bull cycle. There's 2 cryptos in existence that have hit $100 billion or more in their first bull cycles. What about this? Wasn't this a bull cycle last year? Hell no. That's not a bull cycle. No, you've been through a bear cycle. You're going through your first bull cycle. There's 2 cryptos that have been above $100 billion in their first bull cycle. XRP and Ethereum. And no offense to OnyxCoin, you're my biggest bag. I love you. I love you, XCN. I don't think that you're going to see $100 billion by the end of the cycle. But if you do, show us here. Do some crazy growth. Get above 30 cents. If you do that, you might be in a better posturing for this. But until then, I'm not calling for it. So I really do think $2, just above $2, 240 to $1.81. That's where I think we're going to stop, somewhere around here by the end of the cycle. Minimum target's 82.5 cents. We're only at 1.8 cents now, and we've got a lot of growth to go, not just in the coming months, but over the rest of this year, going into the end of the year. I've got nothing else for real this time. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.